Well, hello everyone. Welcome to week 3. Our time together is going by pretty quickly, and I want to commend you on the work that you've done so far. Your discussion groups have, um, I know there was a bit of a hiccup this last week, but hopefully that is taken care of for the remainder of our time together. And you guys did great on engaging one another. Hopefully, you enjoy the smaller groups and are getting to know each other a little bit more deeply. If you've been in cohorts with one another, you probably already know that to some degree, but I'm glad that we can have a time to deepen those relationships. I think that's what education is all about: is just strengthening who you are, strengthening what you know, who you involve yourself with, who you work with, who you talk to, what kinds of things that you say. So I'm thankful that we have this time. As you'll see, I'm more engaged in the discussion board with this week and then with the weeks to come. So let's talk about a couple things that came up this past week. I know I received a lot of questions about the research topic. And I would like to hopefully put your mind at ease. I've given feedback. Some of your topics were great, they were not a problem, and I just went ahead and pushed them through. Others I gave more feedback to, and some of you I actually took some time and did a little recording. Hopefully that went through and you're able to listen to that. The thing to remember, as I said last week, this is not supposed to be a real heavy topic. It's not supposed to be something that you do extensive amount of work in. I realize you've only got a couple of weeks to nail this thing. So your topic needs to be as simple as possible. Don't think you're dumbing down. Don't try and outshine someone. And I know there are a lot of us that are perfectionists at heart, and we want to do everything perfectly. And I'd rather you focus more on what you're learning than getting a perfect grade. And I know that's an anathema, but what I do with my students, and you'll see this as we move forward. If there's something that you're not doing well, I will tell you. Again, I'm more concerned about what you're learning than a perfected outcome. So you have opportunities to repeat assignments. Again, if you turn them in early and ask me for feedback, I'm glad to give it to you and say, okay, let's look at this differently. Let's maybe beef up this one area. So the same thing will apply to your research project. Again, the topic came in this last week, and most of you did great. Some of you, though, are still you're overdoing it. You're overthinking this. And so listen to my feedback that I'm giving you and take it to heart and choose a different topic, or we'll keep navigating, talking together until we come up with something that I know you're comfortable with. So I've had conversations, phone calls. Those are great. I don't mind doing those, especially now that I'm retired. I've got a lot more time. So I'm glad to spend time with you on the phone, talking a little bit more in depth about what you're looking at, what you want to research. The second thing that's going to be due this week are your scholarly resources. Now, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of a research project containing scholarly work. There are a lot of opinions out there. There are a lot of websites that will tell you what you want to know. You cannot use opinion-based websites. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the King's Online Library, use their search engine, and there's tabs over on the left that you can click what you're looking for, and it's research articles, peer-reviewed. What I want you to see is what are other researchers saying about this topic. Not what is so-and-so, pastor so-and-so, Dr. so-and-so just on the internet. Because as you all know, anyone can produce anything, any opinion, and put it online. And too many of us have fallen under the spell of, what's affectionately called as fake news, right? This is research. So I want you to look at articles from the King's Online Library that are peer-reviewed, and this means other people have looked at the topic, and these are people that are well qualified. They've got a few more degrees than you have at this point. And they say, this is what we find to be accurate on this topic. Use those sources. Now, I say to use 5. You can use more than that, but at least 5 scholarly sources. So in order to find those, you have to look at your topic, and you've got to pick out a couple of different things regarding that topic. So for example, I know some of you are looking at worship and depression, okay, in the church. So you've got to look at, okay, music. And how does music impact people that are feeling depressed, right? So see if you can pick out a couple of different, and again, I'm happy to talk to you about them, but pick out a couple of different subtopics to your original one. And that's what you do your research on. Because you're not going to have too much success if you do look for scholarly work on depression and worship. I mean, you may find some, but if it's just depression and music, or interventions for depression or something like that, then you'll find it. If you can't find anything, then change your topic. In the past, I've had too many students that get through the end of the project and they just say, I couldn't find anything, and they turn nothing in, and they flunk the course. So I don't want that to happen to you. If you can't find anything or you're struggling, please reach out to me, and I'll see what I can do to help you. So that's what to do at the end of this week. Again, you've got your discussion question, the discussion board. Your original post is due by Wednesday midnight. Your quiz, and again, most of you got that in on time. A couple of you went past it, but the quiz is based from your reading. It's due by Thursday. So I like to spread things out throughout the week. And also I want you to engage in your textbook for your answer. And your discussion question will always be based on your reading. Always. And you have to incorporate your text in your answers. Again, the discussion board, the first week was more opinion-based, right? But this past week and weeks to come are going to be based upon what you've read. So according to the authors, according to Pang, and put the year of publication, this is what she says. This is what I'm responding to. Again, that's part of doing scholarly work, and that's what moves this past just giving opinions. Now, you may have done that in other classes, and that's fine. That's how that particular professor chose to teach. Because psychology is a field that can be misunderstood, misrepresented, it's real important that we look at then, what's the truth behind it, not what is just someone's opinion. So that's why I ask you to include the text in your responses. You're going to get marked down if you don't do that. The lecture notes, again, don't forget, I want to see the notes themselves. The notes need to be organized. Okay, use bullet points, use ABC. Please look at the example I provided. So I want the notes, and then I want just a short summary, and then the application piece. Because it's not just enough to watch something and to write some notes on it, but I want to know, how does this apply to you? I think that's one of the most helpful pieces of this assignment. I'll respond to your peers on the discussion board, and then have the rest of that stuff turned into me by Sunday midnight. Okay? So you guys were off to a great start. It's been a great week, and I look forward to talking to more of you as the weeks progress. All right. Have a good week.